Hello there. Welcome once more to our Chinese medical series called Loving Tao Cures. My name is Anna Carlin, and today we'll be focusing on the ultimate goal in healing, which is the unification of the body, mind, and spirit. Chinese medicine gives us the steps toward expanding our consciousness by utilizing the biological mechanism that we all have. And in our Western culture, we are using it excessively in the ways that will not cultivate the higher level of consciousness. You remember in my earlier segments we spoke about the various forms of energy in the body and how they relate to the original source, Wu Qi, and which takes a form of nutritive energy in the human body because of the free will that we have been bestowed with. In the process of evolution of our consciousness, in Chinese tradition, the Jing Qi that is housed in the kidneys unites with the Shen, which is housed in our heart, and is like a passageway for all the virtues to our consciousness. When those two unite, the Shen becomes what is called heavenly heart, and mystical union of Jing and Shen expands our consciousness and physiologically releases subtle essences that move and rebuild the brain and the nervous system. This is why in Chinese medicine, kidney is said to form the brain. These traditions, not only Chinese, but Christian tradition and the Indian tradition calls, in Indian tradition this is called Kundalini, and some of you might know what I mean because I don't have much time to go into the mechanism itself, but I will point to you a way the Chinese work on this amazing physiological mechanism for expanded consciousness, and that is through the utilization of the microcosmic orbit, which is understood to be the reflection on the macrocosmic orbit. Here, in the top of the head, is a point called Bai Hui, which translates point of 100 meetings, and this point is focused on in meditation where you receive the original energy or universal energy, and you begin to circulate that with other energies in the body in the two main channels, the functional channel and the governing channel. I showed you those last time. So the energy moves to the forehead with the inner smile and goes down along the functioning channel and circulates in various points here. And the physical original source is behind the navel, where the life started when the sperm and the ovum came together, and you always return the energy there. But it goes down to perineum, and then at the back, it rises through the sacral pump to the life gate, and along the spinal cord, through all the various points, the mouth of God, or jade pillar, as I said, and back to Bai Hui, where it receives more of the universal energy, and then it continues. And in your meditation, you can just concentrate on circulating that energy, and at some point also connecting to the earth energy. And through diligent practice, eventually you become aware of changes in your consciousness. And expansion happens in terms of inner experiences. We call this force in the West, could be called generative force, creative force. that leads into genius or prophets. And if you go to my website, annacarling.com, you'll read about Moses' process when he reached that state of cosmic consciousness, and through that has had influence on our Western civilization for thousands of years. In Chinese culture, there are some philosophers that are my favorite. One of them is Chuang-Tzu. My friend is called after this philosopher. But equally fascinating is the work of Lao Tzu. And I would like to leave this last segment with one of his poems. And it is like this. Touch ultimate emptiness, hold steady and still. All things work together. I've seen how they flourish and then return to their roots. Returning to one's roots, I call stillness. And stillness, I call enlightenment, and say, not to know it is blindness that works evil. But to know what eternally is so gives stature. And stature means righteousness. And righteousness is kingly. And kingliness divine. And divinity is the way, which is final. Therefore, though you die, you shall not perish.